Deepwater Horizon is a second film in a trilogy of real life heroes, directed by Peter Berg and starred by Mark Wahlberg. And the first one was Lone Survivor, and it was a very good film about the war in Afghanistan, and about a guy that a lone survivor. It's kind of that's the one thing about his movies. Like they're spoiled by the title or by just knowing about them, but they're still very good. And Lone Survivor, it's a movie that is tough to rewatch, but it's a very good film. I really enjoyed that film, and I really enjoyed Deepwater Horizon. Although, again, I don't think it's a film that I will rewatch, or especially not immediately. The weirdest thing about this film is that the very last trailer before the start of the movie is for Patriots Day, and that is the third movie of this trilogy from this duo. And this one's about the Boston bombing, and Mark Wahlberg is some random cop. And that one looks pretty goofy. That looks a little too recent and a little too... it doesn't feel like it's that much of a story to tell. But I mean, these other two, Lone Survivor and Deepwater Horizon, there were stories that you didn't know too much about the actual people. Like, especially, with Deepwater Horizon, like, everyone probably knows about all of the thousands or millions or ever barrels of oil that were released into the ocean, or and that, how horrible that was. But I think a lot of the times the actual people that were killed and scarred through really no fault of their own, we kind of lose their story and all the hubbub of how horrible the oil spill was. The film is really well done. I had a lot of fun with it. The characters, it's all acted very well. But I will say, there's a little bit too much of every time there's all like a wink and nod, like saying, "Oh, I don't like the look of that." Like a bird flies in their helicopter and like, "Oh, that's a bad omen. We're gonna die." Like, there's a lot of stuff that, like, there's little things that they go wrong and everyone looks at each other like, "Uh-oh." And it's a little over the top. Like, it's just like, it's kind of goofy. But, one thing I really liked about the film is that they really focused that the higher-ups are the bad people. People for BP and their other company, that they are the bad people. They cut corners to try to... The process is running a little late, so they wanted to start making money from all the oil. And, they didn't run the check on the concrete. And, the whole ship was... pretty messed. Getting old, and a lot of stuff is wrong with it. So I mean, they say that they want to do more tests and things were going weird, but they wanted to kill this to start pulling up the oil, and that was well done. Is that I worried about they were the real villains of the story, and that was well done. So I definitely recommend you see this film. I'll probably give it like an 8.25 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10 maybe. Especially this movie would be really good to see in theaters. There's a lot of explosions, there's a lot of stuff, and almost the explosions, I know that's what it looked like, but sometimes there's a little bit too much of a Michael Bayification of it, where it's just almost too much going on, where it's tough to see what's happening, and it's just almost glamorizing the destruction. But overall, I had a lot of fun with the film. Everyone's great in it. And I would recommend it. Thanks.